Hi, Jeffrey. Good evening.
Hi, teacher. Good evening. Sorry for being late.
Don't worry, it's okay. How was your day?
My day was good, teacher. Thank you. And how about you?
It was great. Thank you for asking. It was a little bit quiet. Everything was great. Thank you. So, um, all right. So we're going to start with today's lesson. So give me a second. Okay, yesterday. No, it was not yesterday. It was on Tuesday, right? We stopped in reported statement, right? And we actually finished the C3, right? Oh, no, sorry, C4, right? Now we're going to continue with the module C, right? Now you are in, give me a second. You are in, okay. So now you are in the last module, right? A12. So yes, that will be right. So we're going to start with today's lesson. It is about wish, right? So I'm going to share my screen with you. So please give me a second. All right. So once you can see my screen, please let me know.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So we have wish. Maybe you've heard this in some place, right? So the truth is that it is raining. The wish is that I wish it were sunny, right? The truth is that I forgot my homework, right? And the wish is I wish I hadn't forgotten my homework. As you can see, the underlined part is contains a different structure, and it depends on the truth, right? It basically depends on it. So let's listen to the audio.
Do you ever wish for things? I do. Right now, where I am, it's raining outside, and I wish it were sunny. Yesterday, I forgot to set my VCR. I wish I hadn't forgotten because now I can't watch my favorite TV show. Let's learn how to make wishes in English.
Okay, so let's continue with number one. And this is gonna sound a little bit weird because of the structure in the name, right? As you can see, we have wish plus the simple past. And we're gonna use this structure to talk about the present, right? I wish that I could have in the present right now. So let's listen the first audio. We actually have four uses, right? Of wish, right? We have four structures, and if you can please take notes because this is very important. We can't confuse this structure, right? Because the meaning is not gonna be understood, right? So let's listen.
We use wish plus the simple past to make a wish about something in the present. I wish I had a recording of this conversation. This means that Talia doesn't have a recording now, but she wants one. I wish Talia didn't work all the time. In the example, Talia works all the time, but Amy doesn't want her to. When the verb is be, we usually use were after wish, even for singular subjects. I wish I were that optimistic.
Okay. All right. So let's start. Sometimes we have a wish, right? We want to make a wish in the present, right now. I wish I had more time to solve my problems, for example. I wish I had more time to solve my problems. I wish I were I wish I were a police girl, for example, right? I wish um, I were a doctor, right? Okay, that's something that I wish right now. I want to make a wish right now. Okay, the structure, as you noticed, right? If you did, it was in the past, right? I wish I had. Um, I wish didn't. I wish Talia didn't work all the time, right? Didn't work all the time. I wish I were that optimistic, right? Okay, as you can see, the structure is in simple past. We actually omit the subject, right? I want to clarify something because when I was learning, I got confused. I used to confuse this part. We have two subjects, right? Subject one, the wish, and subject two, the verb. Okay. Notice that I'm going to have two subjects, even if I'm talking about the same person. In this case, I'm using I. I'm gonna repeat it. So I wish had, that's incorrect, right? In Spanish, we actually say something like that. I wish had. No, I wish I had a recording of their conversation. Okay, so to make a wish about something in the present, we're gonna use the structure in the simple past. I wish I had the recording of their conversation. What does it mean? Natalia doesn't have a recording now, but she wants one. I wish Talia didn't work all the time. What does it mean? That Talia works in a full-time job, right? Okay. When the verb is going to be he, was, right? As it is in the simple past, we have to use was, right? We are gonna use were. I know. We learned I was, right? The subject I was with, the verb to be was, right? And we have another one, you, they, we, it was with, were, right? But this is a rule. Don't forget this rule, please. When we're going to use the wish, we're gonna make wishes. If I'm talking in singular subjects, is a case of I, we use were. I wish I were that optimistic. I wish I were I wish I were in Qatar right now, right? I wish I were I were I don't know, I wish I were I wish I were I don't know, a dentist, for example, right? I don't have any idea, or I don't have any wish right now. So that would be everything about the point number one, right? If you're going to make a wish that you want right now, you have to use wish plus a simple past, right? And don't forget the subject. As you can see, we can say, I wish I, so what does it mean? Talia is talking about herself. Amy, she has the wish, and she's talking about Talia. So you can decide to change, right? You have the option to change the noun, right? But it's subject, wish, subject, and the verb. That's all, right? Don't forget the subjects, right? It is very important. I know it sounds a little bit, it sounds like a repetition, but it's not important, right? That's the structure, and that's how do we have to do it. Do you get it?
Yes, teacher. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Let's continue with the second point.
We use wish plus the past perfect to talk about things in the past that we regret. I just wish I had been more careful. In the example, Talia wasn't careful and she regrets it.
Okay, now let's continue with number 2. Let's take a view to our structure, right? Okay, so we have wish again, and we have the structure of the past perfect. So this is the second use of wish, right? And sometimes we have regrets, right? For example, I made something and I wish I had been more careful, for example, right? That I had, it was in the past, right? In the moment, yes, I did it, right? But then maybe it happened something, right? Or then I noticed that I didn't take the correct decision, right? So I have a regret on it, right? So to talk about those regrets that we could have. In the past, we made something, we took some actions, but now I feel a regret about it, right? So to talk about things in the past, this is very important, right? It's in the past, right? As soon as you make something that it was not the best decision, or, it was not the best action to do it, then it is in the past tense, right? So to talk about regrets that we could have about those things that we made in the past, we made before, we're gonna use wish plus the past perfect. I wish I had been more careful. I wish I had traveled with my grandma. I wish I had kissed him for a last time. I wish I had hugged her one more time. I wish I had studied one more time, or I had studied harder, right? I wish I had studied harder. What does it mean? That now I got a bad score and I regret of it, right? I have a regret because I didn't study, right? So as a result, I have a bad score, right? So again, we're gonna use wish plus the past perfect. Notice that we're using two subjects. I just wish I, right? To talk about regrets, we made something, we took a decision, right? We took a decision before, and now I feel a regret. Days after, I noticed that it was not the best decision, and now I regret it, right? So, do you have any question about point number 2?
No, teacher. Thank you.
All right. Now we're gonna continue with the third use of the use of wish, right? But now, well, we have 2 more, and we're gonna see the models, right? We're gonna see would and could. So let's pay attention to it.
We use wish plus would plus the base form of the verb to express a wish for someone to act in a different way.
And I wish you would stop kicking yourself.
We don't use will after wish.
Okay. We have wish plus would plus the base form of the verb. We actually know when we're gonna use a modal, the next verb, right, needs to be in the base form, right? Always. This is not gonna change in any time sense, right? Okay. To express a wish for someone to act in a different way, we're gonna use its structure, right? Okay. And I wish you would stop kicking yourself. In this case, Nick is talking about Amy. For example, I'm gonna suppose that, right? So Nick wants Amy to act in a different way, right? I wish my best friend would stop smoking, for example, right? I wish my grandma would I wish my grandma would stop being so hard with herself, maybe, right? I wish you would stop being so rude with yourself, right? I wish you would I don't know with the stop. I want to use another word, but I don't have any idea. Okay, I wish you would be more kind with people, right? So what does it mean that you are a rude person with people? So I want you to act in a different way. I wish my best friend would be a kind person, right? A friendly person, but she's not. Instead, she's rude and she's hard with everybody, right? So what does it mean that I want her to act in a different way? So we know that will is the present, would is the past, so we're gonna use the past form would, right? Not will. I wish you will stop kicking yourself, right? It's not a plan, it's not something that they suddenly want. No, that's the reason why we use would, right? We only can use would, not will. So, do you get it, Astrid?
And yes, teacher. And about the structure of the verb, I see that it's the same if I was talking about with wool, right?
Could you repeat, please?
The structure is in the verb with it's the same when I speak or when I talk. Is the same structure of the wood, a wood plus the verb in the base form, all right?
Yes, it doesn't change. I could use any time tense, right? And always, whatever model that you're gonna use, it is followed by the base form of the verb. It doesn't change. You can use past, present, wish, I don't know, conditionals, whatever you want. But it always, we have models would, could, should, oughta, what else, shall, right? And all of them are followed. Oh no, oughta it's ought to, right? We're gonna meet that. But the majority of, well, most of the models are followed by the base form of the verb. We have one, it is oughta, and we have one else, but it is not considered as a modal, it's have to, right? It's like an obligation. So those are the exceptions, right? But then you have to use all the models with the base form of the verb, right?
Good teacher. Okay, thank you.
Don't worry. So let's continue. And let's finish with the fourth use of wish. Again, we're using another model. So until this part, we know how to use would. And let's see how that could work.
We use wish plus could to express a wish about an ability in the present. I wish I could go back and do it over. We don't use can after wish.
Okay, let's continue. Let's finish. We have this instruction, wish plus could, right? To talk about abilities in the present, right? I know it sounds crazy because the present is can, right? So it was supposed to be like ability in the present with can, but no, it doesn't work like that. However, we're gonna use wish plus could to express a wish about an ability in the present. I wish I could go back and do it over, right? What does it mean? That it's an ability, right? Go back, it's an ability. It's a wish that I have. It's an unreal in this case, right? It's an unreal ability. For example, if I'm gonna say, I wish I could travel through the time, right? That's an ability in the present. I wish I could swim because I'm gonna go to the pool with my friends and I don't know how to swim, right? That's a wish that I have. It's an ability that I have in the present. Like I wish I could go back and do it over again. Notice that we're using the base form of the verb. In the same as number 3, we don't use will, right? Will is the present of would. Would is the past. Can is the present of could. Could is the past. And we're using in both uses, we're using to talk about the present, even if the models are in the past. And in both situations we're using the verb in its base form. Don't forget, right? I wish I could dance. I wish I could what else? Yes, I don't know how to dance and I don't know how to swim. So I guess that would be my wishes, right? I wish I could dance and I wish I could swim, right? So as you can see, those are abilities that I want that I don't have, but my wish could be to dance and to swim, right? But that's a wish, right? So don't forget the structure, right? We're using modals, would and could, both are followed with the base form of the verb. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Any question maybe?
No.
All right. So let's continue. This is not difficult. I guess it's not difficult, but the complex part is to learn all the structures, right? Because we have 4 uses of wish, right? So let's practice. So give me a second, and all right. So I'm going to share my screen, and once you can see it, please let me know.
Yes, teacher, I can see.
All right, can you please read the instruction?
Okay. Complete each sentence, click on the box and then choose the correct answer. I wish Talia weren't so upset about her mistake. She wishes she will be more optimistic. So do I. I wish she wouldn't be so hard on herself. Everyone makes mistakes. I wish I had I wish I wish didn't agree to help them. It was stupid thing. I wish I were as forgiving as Nick. I wish I could help Talia feel better.
Great. Do you want to modify something, Lily, or it is great?
No.
Okay. So let's submit and let's check. All right, you only have one mistake, and it was hadn't. It hadn't agreed. So it is, yes, it is a regret, right? To talk about past regrets. Of course, it's about the past, right? So we're gonna need wish plus the past perfect, right? Not the simple past, right?
Okay, teacher. Mhm.
Okay. So do you have any question maybe about the vocabulary, about the context or something like that?
Forgiving teacher, what does it mean?
Okay. Indulgente, right?
Sorry?
Ojalá indulgente.
Indigent?
Indulgente, right? That's the meaning of it. Okay, so in Spanish, right, this wish is like desearía, right? Or in some cases, ojalá, right? Let's take the example one more time. Ojalá fuera tan indulgente como Nick, right? Entonces, tiene dos formas, pero bueno, es solo para que tengas una idea. ¿Ok? All right. Puede ser como tolerante también, right? Como comprensivo, right? Pero el más exacto es indulgente, el más cerca. So, okay, do you have maybe another question?
No.
All right, that's great. Now we're gonna continue with the second lesson and we're gonna finish with this. Okay, so now we're gonna look for the last conditional, right? As I told you, we have 4 conditionals. We already seen 3 conditionals, and then we're gonna finish with this conditional, right? This is the past and real conditional, right? As I told you, the 2 first conditionals are like the first one, for example, is like a fact, right? Facts which are generally true or scientific facts, right? The first one, it's a possible situation in the future, right? Or predicting a likely result. Then the second conditional, it's an hypothetical or unlikely situations. That's an unreal or improbable situation now or in the future. How about the third conditional, and it's the last one? And for me, the structure is a little bit complex, right? The third conditional, it's about well, the use of this. Let's take an example. If you had studied, you would pass the exam, right? The person is imagining a different path, right? And it's an imaginary situation that didn't happen, never happened. That's the reason why it is unreal. So in other words, 0 and first conditionals are unlikely. The first one is like the most probably, the first is like the possible, and the two, the second conditional, it's an hypothetical situation, and the third is false. It never happened, right? So let's listen the audio.
As you know, I'm an English teacher. If I hadn't become an English teacher, I would have continued being an actor. If I had been lucky, I might have been in a movie. These sentences are examples of the past unreal conditional. Let's take a look at them.
Okay, as you can see, those are fake situations, right? Are false situations, things that never happened, right? Let's listen the first audio. Oh.
We use the past unreal conditional to talk about past conditions and results that never happened. The if clause expresses the unreal condition. The result clause expresses the unreal result. If I had been more careful, we would have had the evidence. This means that Talia wasn't careful, and as a result, they don't have the evidence. We often use the past unreal conditional to express regret about what happened in the past.
If I hadn't messed it up, we'd have the recording now.
In the example, Talia regrets that she messed up the recording.
Okay, so if I have been more careful, we would have had the evidence, right? Okay, something that it's important to know, and I do always each class that we talk about the conditionals, is that all of them follows the same structure, right? I mean, all of them have two clauses, the if clause or the main clause and the result clause, right? Well, in this case, it's an unreal condition and we have an unreal result, right? If I had been more careful, we would have had the evidence. I know it sounds like weird, but because of the structure, we would have had, right? But it's common, right? So don't worry. We actually don't care if it sounds weird, right? As soon as we follow the structure, it's great. So to talk about past conditions, that's the reason of why it is called past unreal condition. First of all, because of the structure, it's in the past. The second one, it's unreal, right? And it follows the structure of a conditional. If I had been more careful, we would have had the evidence. What's the unreal condition? If I had been more careful, right? What is the unreal result? We would have had the evidence. What does it mean, right? In the past, it means that Talia wasn't careful. As a result, they don't have the evidence. If I hadn't messed it up, we'd have the recording now. If I hadn't messed it up, that's the unreal condition. What does it mean? That Talia messed it up. She regrets it. We have the recording now, and what is the result clause? What is the truth? That they didn't have the recording, right? As you can see, we're gonna talk about the false or fake situations, and the other use of it is to talk about regrets. If I hadn't messed it up, right? That's Talia messed it up, right? But she regrets. If I hadn't messed it up, so now I regret of it because now we don't have the recording, right? So it's a regret. So those are the two uses of the past unreal conditional. Do you have any question about the use of it? I'm sorry?
No,
have?
teacher, no.
Okay, let's continue.
The verb in the if clause is in the past perfect.
If you hadn't done such a good job, we'd never have known the truth.
We form the verb in the result clause with would have plus the past participle.
If you hadn't done such a good job, we'd never have known the truth.
Notice that in conversation, we often use the contraction "d" for would and wouldn't for would not. We also use the contraction "d" for had and hadn't for had not.
Okay, now let's take a view of the, oh no, yes, the structure, right? Let's start with the if clause. You're gonna remember the name of this clause, right? It's in the past and real conditional. So the if clause or the main clause takes the structure of the past perfect. What is the past perfect? Let's take a review. It's had plus the participle form of the verb, right? So we're gonna use, we could have the negative, in this case have not, right? And the participle one, right? It's up to you. Of course, it's up on the situation, right? If you hadn't done such a good job, would never have known the truth. So this is the unreal conditional. If you hadn't done such a good job. So what does it mean? That this person, we're going to suppose that is Amy. Amy did a good job, right? Okay, let's continue with the result plus the unreal result plus. We're going to use would have plus the past participle of the verb. Well, I learned this in this way. The other day, one of my students asked me if it was the past perfect. So in both clauses, it was like, she told me, teacher, is it all right? I mean, I guess in these two clauses are just in the past perfect. So why do we have, right? I don't think so. It is the present perfect. We use the present perfect for this, right? I mean, it takes half, the theory half. So the answer is no, not really, right? It's not the, well, could be, right? There are people who say that it's the present perfect. We have those, like my student, right? That told me that it was the present perfect, right? With the past, I don't know, finally, right? But the truth is that we're gonna use would plus have plus the past participle, right? In other words, we use the present perfect, right? The present perfect, it's not the past. Present perfect. So in the if clause we have, I'm gonna write like that, right? It's very informal, but I'm gonna write it. We have okay, past perfect, okay, past perfect plus the modal would right plus the present perfect. Okay, so that's the structure, right? This is going to help. All right. Okay, so I'm going to explain this part in Spanish because it's confusing and I don't want you to get confused. Hay quienes dicen que esta segunda parte es pasado, right? O es presente. Por eso es que acá en el libro no detalla bien qué tiempo verbal es, right? Pero suponemos que por el have y el participio es presente perfecto, porque de eso está formado el presente perfecto. Ahora, puede que también sea el pasado perfecto. ¿Por qué? ¿Y por qué no ponemos had si es pasado perfecto? Por el would. Sabemos que después de cualquier modal, el verbo would travel, would go, would eat, tiene que ir en su forma base, ¿ok? Finalmente no hay una definición de qué es el tiempo verbal que pueda corresponder. Sin embargo, mucho más fácil y no va a variar en absolutamente nada en cuanto a significado, ni en cuanto a la estructura, ni en escribir, en nada. Es que sepamos que en el if clause se utiliza el pasado perfecto, if clause, right, o main clause, if clause. Se dice if porque empieza por if. Seguido de esto, el modal would con el presente perfecto, que es mucho más fácil. Entonces ya con los nombres puedo identificar mucho mejor. Ok, no sabemos de esta estructura y el uso, y va a ser pan comido. It's gonna be a piece of cake, right? So, we have the contractions, right? You can do it. If you haven't done such a good job, we'd never have known the truth, right? As you know, we're using hadn't, right? Because it's a negative. And we're using, in the result plus, we have with never have no. Ahora, la pregunta frecuente es, porque esta pronunciación es with, right? No es with, right? Es with. Algo sumamente sutil, with. ¿Cómo sé si es que no estoy utilizando tal vez algún otro tiempo verbal? Porque el siguiente tengo la estructura del presente perfecto. Entonces no hay como perder. A veces no sabemos, ¿no? A veces, como se utiliza hartísimas veces la contracción, no sabemos, right? Identificar. Entonces, por las contracciones a veces nos confundimos, pero lo que nos va a ayudar es escuchar lo que viene después de la contracción. Entonces, después de la contracción voy a darme cuenta, we never have known the truth, right? Truth, it's truth. And it's not like true, right? It's truth. Like a silly, right? Truth. We never have known the truth. And it ends like in the truth, right? It ends like, termina como en una Z, truth, y empieza como una Z, pero es súper sutil la pronunciación. No se hace notar la T, no es pronunciada truth, right? Truth. Can you please try it?
Truth.
Great,
So,
it was great. Truth. Okay, yes, right. So take care in the contractions. Something that is going to help you identify the next verb, or what is talking about, if it's a model, if it's the verb, I don't know. Not only in this lesson, in other lessons, it's the pronunciation, it's the what I'm gonna have in the next part, right? In the following verbs, I don't know, nouns, and then. So, do you have any question, maybe?
yeah, teacher, about the second verb, the structure is will have, right? Will have, and then the past participle.
Which one?
I could use with cool too. For example, the same the result plus with cool
Yeah.
cool have.
Yes, for sure, right? Each part of the point number 3. I'm gonna erase my screen, right? Okay. You actually can do it. You can use could, should, or might. Para eso tenemos que saber los usos de cada uno de los modales. La probabilidad que cada uno de ellos tiene. El could sabemos que es para habilidad, right? Sabemos que el should es más probable que might. Entonces así vamos a poder utilizar, por eso siempre digo los modales son tan importantes. No me gustan a mí los modales, right? Porque son un poco confusos, pero tengo que saber, right? Sin embargo, es cuestión de saber tal vez cuál es más certero que cuál expresa la realidad, cuál es el pasado y presente, pero sí, se puede, ¿ok? You can do it. So let's continue with the third point.
We can also use the modals could, should, or might in the result clause.
If Talia had had more time, she might have remembered to check the buttons.
If she had checked the buttons, she could have prevented her mistake.
We often use the contractions could have, should have, or might have in conversation.
Okay, let's continue. As you know, we can use the modals could, should, or might in the result plus she might, she could. But we have to follow the same structure, right? The have plus the participle form of the verb, the present perfect. If Talia had had, right? This is very curious, had, right? If Talia had, remember that this is the auxiliary and this is the verb in the participle form, right? No te preocupes, es un poquito extraño. Que Talia had. Y es muy común, pero tiene un significado, ¿ok? Solo se sigue la estructura, la fórmula. El primero es el auxiliar y el segundo es el verbo participio, right? Si Talia hubiera tenido, right? Hubiera tenido más tiempo, right? Esa podría ser una próxima traducción, tal vez. So we're actually using contractions. Could have, should have, or might have. Could have. Could you repeat it, please? Could have. Could have.
Would,
Should have.
should have,
And might have.
might have.
Great. That's great. Could have, should have, and might have, right? So that's the pronunciation of these three contractions. The modals plus the auxiliary verb have. Could have, should have, might have. Notice that we don't pronounce the letter e. Could have, right? Could have. It is similar. I only pronounce the. Oh yes, something that I was forgetting. We don't pronounce the letter L, right? I heard one of my students say could, and they pronounce the letter L, but I don't do it. Could, should, right? Those models that we're gonna find this LD, we directly pronounce the letter D, not letter L. Take care. Could, should, and might. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Could you pronounce only the modal?
And could have, should have, and might have.
Great, it was great, right? And only the modals, please. Could, should, might.
Okay, could, should, and might.
Great, it was great. So let's finish with point number 4.
The if clause can come at the beginning or the end of the sentence. The meaning is the same. Notice that in writing, we use a comma after the if clause when it comes first. If I had been more careful, we would have had the evidence. Or, we would have had the evidence if I had been more careful.
Okay. This is something that we've seen in all the conditionals, right? And in spoken English, you can start with the if clause or with the result clause. There's no problem. In writing, we know that we always start with capital letter if, right? Siempre se empieza con mayúscula, right? Capital letters, always with capitalization. At the end of the if clause, we're gonna write a comma, space, and the period if it's necessary. In this case, it's not. But we use the comma. This is part of the punctuation, right? We don't have to forget it. And we can start with the result clause, and we can finish with the if clause or main clause, right? And it's unnecessary the use of comma, right? Because if clause it works like that, like a comma, right? So this happened with all the models. Oh, sorry, all the conditions, right? You may start with the if clause, with the result clause. There's no problem. But if you're going to start with the result clause, oh, sorry, with the if clause, please don't forget the use of comma. Or if you're going to start with the result clause, omit the comma and write at the end your period. Yes, that's a rule that all the models follow, right? So all the models, what do I have with the models? With the conditionals, sorry, right? All the conditionals have the condition and the result. Something is going to happen, you're going to have a result in general, right? Now, of course, we have the real, right? But I'm talking in general. We're gonna find the action. For each action, we have an action, a result, right? For each action, we have a result. All of them have the if clause or the main clause and the result clause. The only thing that is going to change is going to be the structure and the use of each one for sure. All of them, in all of them, we're going to include the comma if we start with the if. And if we're going to start with the result, it's unnecessary. And that will be everything about the conditionals, right? Do you have any question, maybe?
No, teacher. No.
All right, that's great. Right now, I'm going to send you a picture. It's a resume, right, of all the conditionals that we have. And let's see. All right, so I send it, right? So there you have the use, the structure, some examples, right? And the name of each conditional. Okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
All right. Do you have any question, maybe?
And no, teacher, it's clear.
All right, thank you, Astrid. So thank you for your attention. I already assigned the homework, right? The C3, no, C4, so it was the last, no, I don't remember if it is B or C. Yes, for the B. Yes, right. So I already assigned you. So please don't forget to check it. And yes, that will be everything for today, right? If you have any question, please let me know. I'm going up.
The homework, teacher, it will be until Sunday, maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah, until Monday. You're gonna have until
okay.
Monday.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Right? So yes, it will be until, I'm trying to look for it, but I don't know, it appears me like if I didn't assign it, right? So I'm gonna assign again. So if you're gonna see the, oh no, yes, I already assigned, right? So maybe I need to upload the page. So yes, if you have any question, just let me know, right? I'm gonna see you tomorrow.
Okay, teacher. Teacher, I don't know if I am going to be in class tomorrow because I'm going to be I'm going to be on my work, and I don't know if I could say, or I could talk to you maybe in the tomorrow at 1 or 2 p.m.
To have classes at 2 p.m.
No, o sea, no sé si podría decirle mañana, avisarle.
Oh,
Mañana, eso es que no estoy segura.
okay, okay, there's no
Y
problem.
después
Me avisas
le
entonces
avisaría,
lo más antes posible.
sí, por favor.
Ok. Si no hay problema, no te preocupes, pero sí necesito que me avises para poder organizarlo, ¿sí?
Ok, está bien.
All right. Thank you, Astrid. So have a great night. And if we're not gonna see each other tomorrow, have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, teacher, very good.
All right. Thank you,
I
Astrid. So
hope that you could a good year and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
thank you, Astrid. The same for you. Have a great have a Merry Christmas and have a great time with your family, with your friends. So have a great night, right?
Okay, teacher. Thank you.